Oh boy. Dolphins fans, what's up? Thank you to those of you that come in here. Playoffs, we're not worried about playoffs, right? None of that's happening for us. We're just out here playing for our pride and for ourselves. I'm happy with what I've seen so far in the first half of this game. And we can talk about all that in a minute here. But first, I wanted to start out with what I'm dealing with here in North Pole, Alaska. Today, it is 52 degrees below zero. 52 freaking degrees below zero. I'm a Dirk sickle. It's so freaking cold. I thought, man, since I'm not going anywhere, clearly at 52 below, I'm just not doing anything. Figured might as well hop on stream and do a little bit of live streaming since it's obviously not the kind of weather to be going out in. I mean, this is so cold that if you try to pee outside, it'll freeze. You don't want a frozen piss whistle. That's not something you want to deal with. Man. So second half just started. Miami Dolphins are up 17-7. Quinn Ewers is looking very good overall. He's had a couple bad passes, a couple goofball decisions here and there, like that backwards pass at the end of the half. But 10 of 15, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. That's a decent game for Mr. Ewers for his second game ever in the NFL. So looking, truly frozen Fin fan today, boys. That's for sure. Thanks for coming in, Kosa. Appreciate it, buddy. What are you thinking, Kosa, about this Mr. Quinn Ewers so far in this game? I also like the scrappiness of the defense today. Not playing perfect football, but definitely playing with some emotion, and I like seeing it. They're fighting hard. Kenneth Grant's playing well today, too. Theo Weiss having a good game over on offense for Miami. Jalen Wright playing well. 3 carries, 48 yards for Wright. Achan's got 5 carries for 44. I mean, and they didn't even play Achan. They didn't even play Achan until the second quarter. So, I mean, it's looking good for us. I'm liking what I'm seeing. There's a lot of promise on the field with all these young guys. Dolchich is a beast. Theo Weiss having a good game, like I said. I mean, it's good to see. And all of Quinn Ewers' receptions have gone to Weiss, Dolchich, and Achan. So let's see. Jack Jones, 5 tackles. Jordan Brooks, 5 tackles. Jason Marshall Jr., 5 tackles. Those are your leaders for tackles. Yeah, there's been some suspect play calls going on, but not like I said, I wouldn't choose this game so far and say, oh, Mike McDaniel's done a bad job calling plays. He's done a decent job. He's had a couple bonehead calls, in my opinion, but it's just my opinion at this point. But it's only been a half of football, so we'll see how the second half goes. Starting off strong with a stop for the defense for Miami. That's good. Negating that second half kickoff advantage for the Buccaneers. That's good. Love to see it. Now comes Quinn Ewers for his next possession. I'm curious to see if Quinn Ewers can continue these flashes in the pan. Like I keep using that word, that phrase, and that's how I'm seeing. That's how I'm seeing it. Is it's flashes in the pan, right? Because we're not going to see more than a few games of Quinn Ewers. But what I'm seeing, I'm happy. I'm very encouraged with Quinn Ewers. And looking at the way he's playing and with the poise that he has, the decisions he's making overall, he's had a couple bonehead decisions. But overall, I'm looking at him and I'm saying this is not a 7th-round draft pick. If I didn't know that he was a 7th-round draft pick, I would look at this and I would say 2nd, 3rd round, maybe even 1st. If he can continue this for the rest of the season. I would not say 7th-round draft pick. And if you remember during the draft, Quinn Ewers, I mean, he even said it, and a lot of people did. Like they were shocked that he went in the 7th round. No one thought that was going to be a thing. So I certainly didn't think he was going to go that deep. Happy with Ewers the first half. Yep. I'm in my feelings. My fantasy is shitting the bed, making me hate fantasy with a passion, dude. That's why I'm really hesitant about doing it sometimes. This year I didn't do fantasy, and I'm kind of liking that I didn't. Right? I mean, I have a few. I do a few bets here and there, but nothing crazy, right? Like 15, 20, $25 bets. That's it. And it's rare. It's not very common. I'm trying to limit my betting slash uh, fantasy stuff this year, and I'm kind of enjoying it. We'll see if I do it next year. He's looked the part, though. At the end of the first half, we had thrown. Yeah, there was a couple passes there at the end, like that backwards pass that I was like, "What are we doing here?" But it is what it is. Like I said, he's a rookie, so even if he was a first round rookie, you're going to have some of those what the heck moments, right? That's going to be a thing. I was going to put a bet in for Ewers to get 2 touchdowns and forgot to put. Oh, I didn't even think to do to bet on Ewers in this. But man, you should have done that, I guess, huh? Man. Well, Baker Mayfield looks like he's got a knee boo boo. All right. So I'm a little bit behind everybody else, so keep that in mind. It's 1st and 10 for me. Just stabbed. Play stopped on a flag. It'll be a false start on the offense for that first play. That's where I'm at. So you guys know I'm a little behind. Alaska, we're always going to be a little bit behind everybody else. So. Man, you should have made that bet. Holy cow. And he did it quick too. He didn't even need more than the second quarter. And see, that's the thing is that was an incomplete pass out there deep to the right side of the field. Sometimes Quinn Ewers just slings it and he kind of gets out a little too far. He overthrows. And like I said, as a Dolphins fan, we shouldn't be upset about that necessarily. He is a rookie, right? He's new. He's learning his timing with these players, but also we don't have the overthrow issue. We've never had that. It's always been the underthrow issue. So some different issue is a good issue, in my opinion. At least it's something different, right? Something we're not used to seeing. Oh, and the sack on 2nd down 15. That's going to bring up 3rd and like 25. Bad first possession for Miami coming out of the gate here. That was just bad coverage. That wasn't Quinn Ewers' fault. That wasn't anything other than a couple stunts on the defensive line that threw our offensive line for a trick. They had no idea what was going on. So Miami's going to punt. Yep. And that will put the ball on after the punt, that'll put the ball on the 35-yard line for Tampa Bay. And 1st and 10 Tampa Bay. Yeah, an inauspicious start. Yeah, that's a good word. Good word. Good call. Not the best start. That's okay. Like I said, it's not about result here for me right now as watching these games. It's about personal, individual efforts and things like that, and what we have in these players. That's what I'm looking at. That's all I really care about. I'm not too concerned with winning and losing the game. Obviously, that's not really a concern for anybody. I mean, I'd like us to win, but it's not what I'm looking for right now. If we could pull something off, that would be great. But I more just want to see what we have in some of these young players going into the off season and what that's going to mean for us as a team, right? It's important. Are we going to be going with this Quinn Ewers for a quarterback? Are we going to give him a chance to compete, or should we just let him go? And that's what we should all be looking for right now, is what this is going to mean for our team. You would like it to be enough promise to where you're like, well, let's give the kid a chance, because that would save a lot of issues, right? Yeah, it's evaluation time. Exactly. And I think that the best bet for this team at quarterback, I don't think we're going back to Tua. I mean, that is a possibility. Like, I'm not going to say that's not going to happen, but I don't think we are. I think that we're looking to move off of Tua. And all that aside, I think the easiest thing we could possibly have happen, and the best for us, would be Quinn Ewers works out and is worth hanging on to and playing. It's just a matter of, is that going to be what happens? So right now, from what I'm seeing, I've seen enough already to say we're going to let him compete for the starting job next year. Not necessarily he's going to be our starter, no doubt about it. But he's earned the right to have a shot at it for sure, from what I've seen. And already, just everything I've seen so far. We'll see what that translates to, especially we have another game and a half to play in this season. And I really want to see him in New England next week. Really want to see how he does in the cold. I want to see how he does against that team, because New England is no joke, right? I mean, they're beating the bricks off the Jets right now, 35-3. Yeah, 35-3. Pittsburgh's losing to Cleveland 10-6. Man, some of these games are interesting. Jacksonville's losing to Indianapolis 10-7. That's a close game. That's going to be a close game all the way through too. I think as soon as if this game's over and that game's still going on, I'm going to switch over to it. That's one that would be worth watching. Seattle and Carolina are tied up 3-3 in the third quarter too. Like, that is a low scoring affair. Cincinnati's beating the bricks off of Arizona 30-7. Okay. The Bucs are not an easy team to play defense against, and I'm kind of torn on what I'm seeing from our defense. I mean, I feel like they're playing a little soft on first and second down, and because of that, the Jets are getting easy third downs. I have not, but I have a little note card over here with some things that I need to look up and things that I want to do some research on, and I have that written down as one. So I'm going to, just haven't done much yet. So what do you think? I own you. What are you thinking? Baker Mayfield he's having too much time, and like I said, I'm watching on offense here, on the offense for the Bucs, and they're getting a lot of holding calls, not called. Like, they're holding on almost every play, and I know that holding is one of those things that's kind of happens a lot, no matter what team it is. But I mean, I'm seeing a lot of holding going on, and it's just not getting called. So, that aside, I feel like Baker Mayfield's just having a little too much time to sit back there and look around to throw the ball. And between that and the somewhat soft first and second down defense that we're playing, I think it's putting us in a bad position on defense. Although defense is playing stout on third down, and I like it. See, and right there's more holding and not being called. Chubb got down on the ground, and the guy just held on to him and kept him down. Like, it's not right. That should be holding. Oh my goodness. Sealer got held, Chubb got held, and Biggers got held on that play. Baker Mayfield just scrambling around because of it and gets the first down on his legs. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I've got a whole list of people that I need to look at as far as offensive line goes, because I mean, I mean, I'm an ex-offensive lineman. I'm very familiar with the offense and defensive line play and all of that. So I figure I'm gonna do a lot of research on that because I'm more familiar with it. Right, it's easier for me to evaluate offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and tight ends than it is most other positions. I mean, I know football, so I can evaluate everything. It's just I have an easier time, and I feel like I do a better job evaluating offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and tight ends. So that's going to be my focus this offseason is doing that. I'm going to present a lot of information to everybody here. And I mean, we'll see what we end up doing, but I hope that with a new GM coming in and a new situation and a revived kind of vigor with this importance of offensive linemen and defensive linemen, I think that this is going to be a good year for Miami with bolstering that offensive line. Tampa Bay doing a little bit of driving here. Yeah, that's what I was saying, and it's hard for the defensive line to get pressure when they're being held constantly. And I'm not making that as a complete excuse for our defensive line, right? They still got to do something, right? I mean, if the refs aren't going to call holding, they've got to find a way to get pressure regardless. But it definitely makes it harder on the defensive line when they're being held on every single play. Like, it doesn't matter what play you're watching, just watch the next few plays and watch for holds. Don't worry about where the ball goes, just watch the line. You're going to see a ton of it. Good coverage by Melifonwu on that throw to the end zone. They're both pushing. Good coverage. It was Jack Jones, too. Yeah, sorry. Mike Evans is a very physical receiver, so it's going to look like he's pass interfering, and you got to be physical with him. You can't just let him push you around. Um, so, I mean, good play by Sealer. Yeah, he was relatively quiet in the first half of the season. He's come on late and done a lot better. I think part of that is just kind of doing too much because our rookies were learning next to him. And now that the rookies are starting to figure stuff out a little bit, I feel like he's had a chance to really kind of do his thing. More holding. Look at Chubb just getting held. That needs to be a penalty. Holy cow. That Chubb, okay, so please tell me somebody else saw that. Chubb got held for a solid 2 seconds, and Baker ran right by him. That's where the holding starts. And until Baker Mayfield gets past him, it's holding. Look at that. My goodness. And these are the things that you can't, I mean, you can't do anything against that. It's just really, really, really bad officiating. And this play should be over. This drive should be over. There should be a field goal being taken right now. Instead, they get a first down. Jordan Brooks trying to walk off a little bit of a boo-boo on his quad, it looks like. Dolphins defense is really playing hard. And like I said, there's been a lot of holding and a lot of things happening. Some pass interference on the offense against Miami, and it hasn't been being called. And like I said, I try not to complain too much about penalties, because it is what it is. But right now, there's a lot being missed, and that's why I'm mentioning it so much. You hate to see it. And they already make it hard enough for defenses to do what they're supposed to do on defense. And when you have a bunch of penalties being missed, it just makes it even worse. So I'm very encouraged by how the defense is playing and how they're sticking with stuff, but just the cards are stacked against them right now. And that's solid defense right there. Solid defense by Miami, holding them to a field goal. Love to see it. 17-10 Miami. Good job, boys. Against all the penalties that should have been called, you still didn't get them, but you had managed to hold them to a field goal anyway. 17-10 Miami. Dolphins getting the ball back shortly. Love to see it. And that was almost that could have been a return. Baker Mayfield fumbled the ball, got it back, but man, that could have been just as easily grabbed and taken back for a touchdown. So Dolphins defense fighting hard despite the horrible officiating. Aquavale, what's up, buddy? How you doing? I've been praying for you, brother. I'm sorry about the loss for your pup. Been thinking about you a lot lately. Sorry to hear about all that, brother. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm if I shut my microphone or if I shut my video feed off, it's because I'm eating food. Uh, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten breakfast or anything yet, and now I'm sitting in here on stream, so I'm not eating right now, but I kind of am because I have some of my favorite things in the world: honey mustard Pringles. If you guys have never had those, go get them. They're magnificent. I mean, I don't know how everybody else does it, but for Christmas, like our Christmas stockings, it's mostly just snacks and stuff that we like. So like I don't hardly ever buy stuff like that. So like on Christmas, I open my stocking, and my stocking is like Pringles and chicken and a biscuit and Easy Cheese, the spray cheese, stuff like that I never really buy. My wife gets it for me, and then I spend the next 3 days just gorging myself on things that I should never eat. It's like a reward. So if my feed goes black, that's why it's black, is because I'm shoving food in my mouth. It's 52 below. What am I going to do? All I can do is eat food. I'm good at it. I got this big old gut. Yeah, I bet. I understand completely, brother. Dude, yeah, that's like I said, I don't know how everybody else does it, but our stockings are usually full of snacks and stuff that we like, and that's how we rock it. So I got my other desk over here is for tying flies, but the bottom drawer is full of my Bloom drinks and all kinds of snacks that I got in my stocking. A bunch of different kinds of cheese and crackers and cookies and chocolate covered strawberries and stuff, that kind of crap. Oh man, ESPN feed just showed me something. I can't wait to see it happen. I'm not going to talk about it until I see it. Aqua said it. I just saw it on the ESPN feed on the play-by-play feed, but I'm not going to talk about it until I see it live because I want to see it. But that's what it was right there. Special teams playing well today. I mean, aside from this return that I'm about to see, The blocked field goal, everything they've done so far, they've done a good job. No, dude, you're good. I've accepted the fact that I'm in Alaska and I'm behind everybody else. That's just the way it is. I don't hold that against you guys. Oh, man, what a great return. Taj just not going, refusing to go down, man. They had him dead to rights. Great job by Washington on that. And that was one of those poochie kicks, the bad kicks that people think is the way to go with this new kick return system. So, or this kickoff system. So I'm glad to see that. Running down the field with blockers too. Like, great job by Miami. Quinn Ewers loves it. He darn right he does. Sure, it goes without saying, but those of you that are in here, please make sure to throw a like down. It helps out a bunch. So I'm trying to grow. I'm questing to 500 subscribers. 5-yard loss on the carry from Achane. Nowhere to go. Not much he could have done there. And if Carolina wins today and the Bucs lose, they're out of the playoffs. So that's what you got to want to see. Oh, good hole. Big room for Achane. Carolina's got their work cut out for him, though, playing the Seahawks. (17-3) in that game right now. Seahawks up over Carolina. So you know Tampa Bay is watching that one. Keeping those updates going on the sideline. Good run plays. I love the play calling from Mike McDaniel with these run calls. Not just the fact that he's calling a run, right, but the design that he has with these run plays, these counter plays, and these off tackle swings and things like that. You love to see it. It's keeping their defensive line and their middle linebackers completely on their heels, and that's what you have to do. So fabulous job by Mike McDaniel so far. With the play calling. I'm giving him a 9 right now out of 10 on play calls. He's had a couple boo-boos, but I like it so far. Achane got wrapped up. Still pushed forward for the first down. Man, that'll be 1st and 10 Miami at the 20-yard line. Quinn, we're still sitting at 144 yards passing. Nothing doing so far for him through the air in this second half, but the Dolphins have been running the ball heavily. So, and like I said, you don't want to put too much on the young man. I mean, you want to let him cut loose a little bit and get some balls in the air, but you want to really depend on this run game. Why would you not, right? Oh, man. Julian with the false start. I'm not gonna pick on him too much. I mean, Julian Hill has done a fantastic job this year. Not with if you think of nothing else other than the penalties that he had called on him last year and the drop balls, he hasn't done that this year. So a false start on Julian Hill there. I'm not going to pick on him too much just because he's done so much better this year. I mean, to the point where it's almost been a non-issue all year. So that's not bad at all. But you still don't want to see it, right? You don't want to see a false start there, especially in the red zone and things are going well for Miami. But I'm going to try to be a little understanding there. And looks like that's gonna take us to the third quarter. The end of the third. Miami up 17-10 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 1 quarter left to go. We survived. Kosa, dude, that's the biggest thing right there. We survived the third quarter without completely falling apart. Holy crap. And that's not something we're used to seeing, right? Usually that third quarter is like kryptonite to us. So after 3 quarters, Quinn Ewers, 144 yards passing, 10-17, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Devon Achane, 71 yards on 10 carries. You got to love to see that. Achane is just a beast as usual. Theo Weiss, 63 yards, 1 catch, 1 touchdown. It's a great job by him on that play. Bradley Chubb with a sack. Ashton Davis now at six tackles for Miami. Baker Mayfield, 20 of 27, 174 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Bucky Irving, 9 carries, 19 yards. The Dolphins are holding Bucky Irving to 2.1 yards per carry. You got to love it. That's huge for Miami so far. Essentially just killing the run game. The Bucs as a team have 53 yards rushing, and that's largely because of 3 carries from Baker Mayfield for 16 yards. So the Dolphins are doing a fantastic job on the run game, and it's making the Bucs put everything into the passing game. And the Bucs have very good wide receivers, right? So you can't really hate on it too much. 174 yards passing for the Bucs. Jalen McMillan has 5 catches for 79 yards. Cade Otton, 3 catches for 20. Tez Johnson, 2 catches for 19. Mike Evans, 1 for 16. Chris Godwin, 2 catches for 14 yards. And Bucky Irving, 4 catches for 12. And Igbuka is pretty much uninvolved with 1 catch for 7 yards, which is a shocker because I thought for sure they'd use Amika a lot more than they have in this game. Yeah, it is. It's definitely nice. 3rd and 7 for Miami here at the 18-yard line, 17-yard line. Ewers is back to pass. Throws it to Washington. Stopped pretty quick. That'll bring up the field goal unit. Dolphins will take a field goal here. You got to take the points. I know it's 4th and 2, but enough of this. This is where McDaniel needs to make the good call, which it looks like he's doing, going for the field goal. 4th and 2, you got to take the points. You want to keep a 2-score lead on this team. You do not want to go down and make it a 1-score game and miss a 4th down play. So Field goal is good. Miami Dolphins up 20-10 over Tampa Bay. 14 minutes and 15 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Miami just needs to keep doing what they're doing. Keep fighting. Tack those points on when you can, how you can. Doesn't matter. That's what you like to see. All right. I like it. I like being up 2 scores in the fourth quarter. I like that third quarter did not go horribly for Miami. I like that. It's a good sign. I like how Quinn Ewers is playing. I like how our defensive line is playing, especially Kenneth Grant finally having some flashes in the pan. I love saying that phrase because it's exactly what I'm looking for in my evaluation stance on a lot of these younger players. Zeke Biggers, obviously, he is a walking, rolling flash in the pan. I love Zeke Biggers. We've seen Jason Marshall Jr. in the secondary make some plays today. Jack Jones playing great football. I don't care if he messes up here and there for Jack Jones. I don't care. What I want to see from Jack Jones is attitude, and that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing him do what he needs to do. Even if he messes up, he comes back the next play, and he's thinking the same thing. I'm the best player out here. You ain't going to score on me. I love it. I love his attitude. Ashton Davis making plays all over the field right now. Talk about somebody that we picked up that I was not expecting to make as big of a splash as he has. Ashton Davis is regularly and consistently making plays. Not just this game, but all season he's been making plays. Love to see it, right? I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing today from the Dolphins as a whole. Mike McDaniel making decent plays as play calls as a coach. I haven't seen a whole lot of whoopsies from him. Saw a couple here and there, a couple what the heck plays, but as a whole body of work in this game so far, I'm seeing good job by Mike McDaniel. Like I said, I'll pick him apart when he does something wrong, but right now I'm seeing good decisions from him. So, man, my nose is running like crazy. Apologies for all the sniffles, guys. But 52 degrees below zero, what do you expect? Yeah, Jalen Waddle's out of the game. It is what it is. There's players we need to evaluate anyway, so I'm not too concerned with it. He's still standing out there and stuff. He's just got a wrap around his ribs. I'm not worried. Yep. You got to be. You have to be aware of the Buccaneers receivers, and I just mentioned that they are a great group of receivers, and you've got to. It takes a lot of work to cover all these receivers on the field, and that's why I'm so impressed with Miami thus far. I know there's been a couple boo-boos here and there, but for the most part, Miami secondary has done a good job today. Definitely, Kosa with the logic. First and 10 for the Buccaneers. A little behind you guys, don't forget. And that's going to be a penalty on the Buccaneers. Rasul Douglas did a great job in coverage and got pushed aside by Mike Evans. That's going to be on Mike Evans. Yep. Great job. He's been doing that stuff all game, Kosa. He's been doing that all game. Baker Mayfield's hurt a little bit. He's got some ankle injury, it looks like, or a leg boo-boo. Still in there, though. But I think the call is right. I mean, you like I said, when these receivers are big for the Buccaneers, and you got to call them on these penalties sometimes. Little screen pass, not really doing much. Second and 14 for Miami or for Buccaneers. This is a big possession. You really want to get a stop here against this team. Sorry, had to adjust my screen a little bit. And that'll bring up third down. Oh, no, that's fourth down. My bad. 4th down and 7. 4th down and 7 for the Bucs. Stopped them. Well, forgot to mention KJ Britt got a little boo-boo there. Hopefully he's okay. But we're looking at 4th and 7 for the Bucs. Are you talking about the third down play there? Because yeah, that was a good job by Marshall, and he's like I said, he's been all over the field today. He's putting in solid work. I love what I'm seeing from him. Solid punt by the Bucs. That'll bring up first down for Miami at the 4-yard line. 20-10. Miami up on the Buccaneers. Yeah, he's a rookie. Yep, he's a rookie. I think he was one of our 5th round picks. I think that's where we grabbed him. Yeah, he's a rookie, and he's been playing very well. Overall, like I said, we're looking for flashes in the pan, overall play. We're looking to see how they're going to – if it's worth keeping them on the team. I think that, like I said, from what I've seen from Marshall Jr., I like it. I like what I see from him. He's a big corner or a big secondary player, and I love to see him on the field. So I'm hoping that we keep him around and he gets a shot to play next year because he's a beast. He's a big guy in that backfield, and it's a body style that you're not used to seeing in secondary for a lot of teams, and he's got that size. He's that kind of player, and I like that. I want to have you should want to have a player like that on your team. Maybe not to take every snap, but to be in there when you need him. Trader and Marshall, I want to see them both more. I want them. Like I said, I like how they're playing. I think I'm a little more impressed with Marshall right now overall, but I'm very impressed with both of them. I think they both have a lot of upside, and I want to see them stick with the team for sure. Both of them. Let's see. And you know, like Jason Marshall's got the interception today, but I'm not. I don't know. I think they both need a chance to continue to play for us. I think it'd be foolish to get rid of either one of them. Trader's only got one tackle today, but it was a solo tackle, and he's been doing good. So I like them both. I like them both. Oop, I didn't mean to do that. Whoopsie. Dolphins backed into a corner here, though, on 1st and 10. And that's going to bring them back even farther. My goodness. Quinn Ewers is shaking his head. If not the toughest, I'd say definitely one of the strongest for sure. Yeah, it's a tough one for sure. First and 12. Goodness. Need to get a little bit of space. Oh my goodness. Almost got sacked for a safety, or got tackled for a safety. HN had nowhere to go. Now we got holding. And that's on Jonas Vainaya again. It's not. Here's the deal, though. I'm not looking at the play calling going, well, the play calling's horrible. What I'm seeing is a little bit of failure to execute right now from the offensive line on these last few plays. So that's what my focus would be. If I was the coaches, I'd be looking at this offensive line going, you guys need to get it together. We're on the freaking 1 yard line. You guys need to really, really step it up. Enough of the false starts, enough of the holding. 2nd and 13, you know. That's a pass for a yard, maybe. And that's going to bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and a lot. Darren Waller just had nowhere to go on that pass. Fell forward for maybe a yard. So it's going to be 3rd and 12. This is one of those situations, you know, what can Ewers do here? This is obviously going to have to be a passing down. Can Ewers get a good enough throw and get him in the receiver in motion to do something with it? Without great pass. Is that Julian Hill or is that Waller? That's Julian Hill. Great job. 1st down, Miami. That's what you want to see. Ewers makes a little bit of movement to give himself a little bit of space to make this throw and gives it to the open guy. This is no BS. Good quarterback play and great catch by Julian Hill. Turning the opposite direction to make that catch to adjust to a slightly off-kilter throw by Ewers. I'm not going to fault Ewers there because he was running the opposite direction to make that throw. He's running to the left and throwing with his right hand across his body. But Hill made the adjustment and made the catch. You'd love to see that. This is what I was talking about with Julian Hill maturing. He's playing very well this year. I love it. Back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the run on 1st down. So 2nd down. Bryce Young's trying to make a game out of it in Seattle. 17-10. Panthers are down 7 now in that 4th quarter. Ooh. 2nd and 9 for Miami. I don't know about that play call on 2nd and 9. Handing off out of shotgun. That's not really something I would do there. Like I said, there's a couple plays where like I said, I'm talking like I'm a NFL head coach. I'm not. I'm looking at this, you know, and trying to be objective, right? And I'm not sure I would have made that call. Like I said, I'm sure there was a reason he did, but overall, I think Mike McDaniel's done a pretty good job calling this game. But that was one play I probably wouldn't approve of personally. Tua watching on from the sideline. 3rd and 9 for Miami at the 18-yard line. Ewers on a quick throw. Oh, they're not going to give him the first down on that? Wow. Cedric Wilson Jr. on the catch. I thought he had the first down there, but apparently they're not going to give it to him. They're not going to give him the first down. They're saying he's a yard short. That'll bring up 4th and 1 for Miami. And they're going to bring Patterson out to punt. Or not Patterson. Bailey. I'd probably punt there too. The announcers were questioning that, saying you might want to go for it, but no, that's the right call. That's the right call. Kick it away. Coming back with the Bucs on first down, and we are sitting at 8.5 minutes left in the game. 20-10 Miami over the Buccaneers. Buccaneers ball. They'll have the ball on the 22-yard line. It's a good punt. Yep, you're right, Kosa. You right. All right. Dolphins not in a horrible situation. This is a possession where they really need to get a stop. Need to get a stop, and they need to run the ball on the next possession. Well, they need to run the ball well. I need to add that word to the end of it. But if they can get a stop here and run the ball well, they can pretty much run the clock out. So that's what you need to look for and hope for and want as a Dolphins fan. We'll see what actually ends up happening, but that should be the goal. Overall, Dolphins playing good football here, though. Good football from Miami. As of right now, Miami sits at a 90.1% chance to win this game, according to ESPN Analytics. And like I say a lot, you can't trust a lot of analytics. You can't trust a lot of these stats and stuff as the whole story. But as far as the ESPN Analytics goes, their win probability percentages are almost always right. It's kind of scary, but they do get it right a lot. So way more than they get it wrong. And since the Buccaneers are having a heck of a time running the ball, they're going to have to pass, and the Miami defense can recognize that and know that, and they can really queue up on these passes. I would not be surprised if you see an interception come during this possession, especially if the Bucs really start flinging it down the field because they know they have to. We'll see, though. All right, here we go. Looking at first down for the Bucs on the 22-yard line. Man, I am so happy I got my boom arm back from my microphone. It's so nice to have it. Looks like a 7-yard pass. That'll bring up 2nd and 3. Seeing some soft coverage in the secondary. I'm worried about that. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3 on the incomplete pass. Good hit. Really got to dial up some kind of pressure and get to Baker Mayfield with how much time he's spending sitting back there. Oh my goodness. Huge pass play. That'll bring up 1st down for them. There's the soft coverage. Yeah, and it is. It seems like they're almost in a prevent. And like I said, I'm not going to pick on them too much because they're trying to put people back there to get a pick. So I'm trying to understand why they're playing a little soft, but that seemed a little soft to me. We'll see what ends up happening here. If they keep doing this, they're going to get burned. Oh, he didn't get the sack. He had him. Didn't get the sack, and he had him. Dang. Man, you got to make that sack. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Oh, man. Man. All right. 1st and 10 for the Bucks. Back to pass. There's the pick. That's Ashton Davis. I just said Ashton Davis. I just said he's been all over the field today making plays. And yes, there it is. There's the pick by Ashton Davis. I said that this is the... Holy crap. I said that this is the possession to look for an interception. I said Ashton Davis is all over the field making plays. Did I not? I called it. There it is. That's exactly what man, I love it when I'm right. It's not very common, okay? I'm wrong a lot. But I was right that time. Yes. Man, okay. Why couldn't we have like 30 people in the stream right now when I called all that? Come on. Man. I even said that's why they're playing soft, is because they're looking for that pick, that dagger. There it is. Ashton Davis did it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Oh, man. Oh, good grief. Oh, man. I love it. I'm glad Ashton Davis got that pick. That was a good read. Good job. Good coverage. You knew, I almost kind of felt like they were baiting a little bit because they were given that middle of the field and they had those two safeties sitting back just waiting for the ball to come flying down the middle of the field. And kind of a little bit shame on Baker Mayfield there because he had to have seen that, right? I mean, they were just sitting there waiting and he threw it right at him. And all Ashton Davis had to do was break on that ball 5 yards. That was it. He was in it. He was on it, in it, and loving it. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know. But I don't know if you guys watch Brandon Perna. That's Good Sports. But he always does this thing where did a white corner get an interception this week? When Bonner got his interception a couple weeks ago, I went immediately to his Instagram and messaged him, and I was like, a white corner got an interception. Oh, man. You'll love to see it. I don't know what Baker Mayfield was thinking throwing this ball. I don't know what he was thinking. Ashton Davis just broke 5 yards and took that ball. Give me that. That's my candy. Oh, yeah. Love it. Man. And Miami does nothing with the ball afterwards, but, whatever. Punt the ball. 5.5 minutes left in the game. 5.5 minutes left in this game. Miami hanging on 20-10, playing solid defense. Now, with what just happened, you need to look for the exact same thing to happen again. I know it's crazy, and to think that is there even a possibility that we wind up with 2 interceptions back-to-back like that, but this is going to be that situation where that's going to be a possibility because they cannot run the ball against us, and they are going to have to throw deep, hard, and long. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bucs coming from the 32-yard line after that punt. Not the greatest punt. I wish that would have probably carried about another 10 or 15 yards at least, but Ashton Davis did a great job on that play. They need to let him back out there. Maybe he can get another one. Like I said, the ball is going to be thrown up in the air to end this game, so there's going to be the opportunities for some picks. Now, even if the Bucs manage to score on this possession, even if they do, the Dolphins are going to have to do something with the ball when they get the ball back. If the Bucs score, the Dolphins have got to do something on offense. Otherwise, the Bucs are going to get the ball back with about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes left, and you can't have that happen. Yeah, the punt was horrible. I wish there was about another 15 or 20 yards on that for sure. But that's what we're left with here. And remember at the beginning of the year, we were all thinking Bailey was going to be gone anyway, so he might not be back next year. But special teams has been a strong point for Miami all year, including the punting game. So that was a bad punt by Bailey, but for the most part, he's done a pretty solid job all year. I'll give him that. Like I said, I'm not going to take his cookies away. He's done a pretty good job all year. So. It's not very far from the truth. Oh, man. Dolphins defense needs to stiffen up a little bit here. That'll bring up 3rd down and 3. That's where I'm at. 3rd and 3. Good coverage by Jack Jones and Melifonwu there. Fourth and 1 for the Bucs, and they're going to have to go. That'll bring up 1st down for the Bucs. Dude, Aqua, you're right. There's a lot of money for a lot of our defensive players on this. If they can, I think, what is it like? If they can allow less than 40 points in the last 2 games. I think that's what the number was. If a lot of these players have their individual requirements for making these bonuses, but if they can hold it to 40 points total in the last 2 games, so 20 for each game, if they can do that, they'll get they'll get their bonuses. I think that's how that works. I can't remember the exact number though. Oh my goodness! Did he get that ball? He did. Dolphins ball on the sack fumble. Look at Chubb dancing, dude. That's what's up. Let's go defense. Bradley Chubb. I think he's one of those players that's getting a big bonus if they can do this with point totals. Great job. Bradley Chubb on the sack fumble, and looks like Bell on the recovery. There we go. Yep, and I think that point total means they need to be no more than 40 points at the end of the season. I think that's kind of what the goal is. Either way, I mean, yeah, this is fantastic job by the defense. Two possessions in a row, really stepping it up, getting a turnover. The interception by Ashton Davis, and then the sack fumble by Chubb. Fantastic job. Miami Dolphins giving the fans something to be happy about and look forward to. Good carry by Devon Achane for 6 yards, 7 yards. Quinn Ewers having a decent game. Oh, yeah, got to play spoiler today. I mean, granted, it's not officially over yet, but I mean, it's looking good. 99.8% win probability according to the ESPN analytics. But more importantly, Miami playing good, solid football in the second half, no less. And you got to love it. Yeah, and the Bucs had a lot to play for. Miami, not so much, just pride. They're playing hard. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I do. All right. Third down and 3 for Ewers. Taking off, running for the first down. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Ewers with the first down run. He's feeling it a little bit. You got to let the man play. He's having a good time. Good for him. A little bit, doesn't he? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm not mad. Good hard run by Achan for a few yards there. Tampa Bay going through all their timeouts. That's what you needed to have happen. Seattle's up 20-10 on the Carolina Panthers, so it's looking like the division title for Carolina or Tampa Bay is going to go to the last game of the season for sure. And that'll bring up 4th and 4 for Miami. Ball is on the 41-yard line, 39-yard line, my bad. Just to clarify, I don't hate Baker Mayfield at all. In fact, I find myself quietly rooting for him, especially with what happened to him in the beginning of his career and everything in Cleveland and all that. I've been rooting for him for a long time. I like him as a player, as a person. But it's still nice to see him upset on the bench after this game. We're at the 2-minute warning, by the way. 2 minutes left. Miami up 20-10. So it's a 4th and 4 on the 39-yard line for Miami. I don't know. It's a long field goal. I'm not sure what I would do here. This is why I'm not an NFL coach right here, because I'm not sure what I would do here. I mean, obviously the smart move is punt. That's the safe move. A little pooch punt, get it down there near the 10-yard line. But at the same time, a field goal would pretty much put this up way out of reach. So I don't know. Yeah, they did. They did Baker wrong, big time. And it's kind of put a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, and that's why I think that he's been so strong as a player, right? I think that's kind of been part of his identity is that he's got a chip on his shoulder and a little bit of an attitude, and I think that it bodes well for him and it benefits him as a player. So nothing but love for Baker Mayfield. Like I said, one of those players that I always root for and I love to watch. So just not when he's playing my Dolphins, that's all. And they're going to punt it away. Good punt. Good punt by Bailey. Gets it down inside the 10. They'll get the ball on the 9-yard line for Tampa Bay. And that'll be first and 10. First and 10, they'll set up shop there with 1 minute and 50 seconds left. This has been a fun. If you're a Dolphins fan, now I know it's been a rough season. I know it's been horrible. But if you're a Dolphins fan, you needed to see this game. You needed to see a game like this near the end of the season. We needed it. We needed to see the Dolphins win a game throughout the entire game, to play well the entire game. And that's what we've seen. We saw solid quarterback play. We saw a good run game. Those are the things that you need to see. Yeah, that they still have a chance, right? Especially if the Panthers lose here, which it looks like they're gonna. But I don't know. But the Bucks haven't given up yet, so let's not write them off of this game just yet. Yeah, 50 something yard throw puts the Bucks down near the red zone. So they're pushing. They don't want to give up. It's Baker Mayfield. The Bucks have no timeouts left, and that needs to be kept in mind. Tick, 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 tick goes the clock. Dolphins playing a little bit soft. A little bit soft on coverage. And that'll be first and goal after the defensive pass interference on that. Oh, and that's Rasul Douglas getting that penalty too. And I understand. I'm undecided on the McDaniel situation right now. I seem to be waffling back and forth, but right now, not sure. Right now, it is the Buccaneers just scored on a 4-yard pass, and this game is at 17-20 Miami right now. Obviously, 50 seconds left. You're going to have to get an onside kick. If you're the Buccaneers, you have no timeouts left. This is another big special teams play for Miami. I'm not going to pick on Rasul Douglas too much for that pass interference play. Like I said, Rasul Douglas has played solid for us all year. One of the best corners in the NFL this year. You can't do that, obviously, but I'm not going to fault him too much. And we are 50 seconds left in this game. 3-point game. Miami with the lead. And this is where I was saying just a minute ago, it would have been nice to maybe go for that field goal. But yeah, here we are. Oh, you're going to take the blame for it. Okay. Oh, man. It's never easy, is it? You can't let this game go. You cannot let this game go. This is a must-win for Miami. I know it's not as far as playoffs or anything like that, but you need to win this game. And Achane recovers the onside kick. There we go. Achane on the recovery. Good job. Miami Dolphins football on the 48-yard line. And we're going to kneel on it, and that should be the game. They have no timeouts. They can't stop us from doing it. No, please don't. Please don't. Oh, man. Don't jump, Aqua. That'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. That will do it. Miami Dolphins 20, Tampa Bay Buccaneers 17. Miami hangs on to win after a little scare there at the end. Baker Mayfield's going to bake. That's what it is. But Miami holds them off and improves to a 7-9 record for the season. Good job, Miami Dolphins. Not collapsing in the third quarter like they normally do. Quinn Ewers having himself a good game. Those of you that are in here that haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Make sure you throw a like down. It helps out a bunch. We're going to talk about a little bit of this for a minute, and we'll go from there. But overall, very impressed with this game. I'm impressed with a lot of our young players in this game. Marshall Jr. had a good game. Quinn Ewers had a good game. Theo Weiss had himself a little game on one catch, but it was a big catch. Turnovers were big in this game. Sack, fumble, a couple picks. Baker Mayfield had kind of a pedestrian game just because of the interceptions. Not a bad game for Miami. Let's see here. Baker Mayfield, 33 of 44 for 346 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a rating of 93.6. 93.6. Quinn Ewers, 14 of 22 for 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and a rating of 118. Great job by Quinn Ewers. Great job playing this football game for him. Devon Achane, 18 carries, 83 yards, an average of 4.6 yards per carry. Jalen Wright, 5 carries for 56 yards. Fantastic game from Jalen Wright. You like what you see from him. I think we'd be fools to let Jalen Wright go. Let's see. Theo Weiss, 1 catch for 63 yards. Greg Dulcich, 5 catches for 58 and a touchdown. Theo Weiss had the other passing touchdown. Great job for both of them. Devon Achane, 3 catches for 29 yards. So Devon Achane, over 100 yards, all-purpose yards for him in this game. Julian Hill had a big 16-yard catch on one of those last drives in the end of the game, or near the end of the game there. Said the ball got spaced out between a lot of receivers, and it's been a while since we've seen something like that. Darren Waller, Malik Washington, Cedric Wilson Jr., Julian Hill, Devon Achane, Greg Dulcich, Theo Weiss, they all got passes in this game. Quinn Ewers did have 1 fumble, but it was not lost. Quentin Bell recovered the 1 fumble, the sack fumble by Chubb on this game, so that's good. Jack Jones, 10 tackles, 8 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss. Fantastic game from Jack Jones. Jason Marshall Jr. had 8 tackles in this game. 2 passes defended and 1 tackle for loss. Fantastic job. Tyrell Dodson, Iffy, Jordan Brooks, they all had 5 tackles in this game. Jordan Brooks had a pass defended also and a tackle for loss. Good game for them. Quentin Bell, 2 tackles in this game. It was good to have a little Quentin Bell sighting in this game. Jake Bailey even had a tackle in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Dante Trader Jr., 1 tackle, and also that magnificent, or Jason Marshall Jr. had the interception. Ashton Davis with the other one. It's a great job. Malik Washington, good on kick returns today with the one kick return for 47 yards. Fantastic job by him. Riley Patterson, 2 of 2 on field goals. Gotta love it. Like I said, there's not much to say bad about this game for Miami. I feel like there was a little bit of soft defense going on there near the end of the game, but you kind of expect that with the situation they were in. It ended up working out, so I'm not going to fault them too much on that, right? The Buccaneers had way more first downs in this game, but Miami made the points count, right? And that's what you got to see. We won the turnover game. Possession, 27 minutes, 54 seconds for Miami, 32 minutes and 6 seconds for the Buccaneers. Relatively close, but the Bucs got the edge in the time of possession. But once again, Miami defense stiffened up when they needed to, and that's what happens, right? Ewers played very nice. Let's keep it going. Yep. Me too, Blake. I do like Ewers. I want to see more. The big test is the Patriots D. We'll see if Ewers can keep his confidence and calmness against that aggressive defense. It'll be a great evaluation for him. I agree. It's going to be in the cold against a division rival. We'll see what Ewers does against that Patriots defense in that kind of a situation. It's going to be a good game. Can't wait to see that. Jorge, what's up, man? Good to see you in here, dude. Yeah, boy. Fins for the win again and again. Did have Jalen Waddle getting hurt there in the game. It is what it is. We'll see. Like I said, I wouldn't expect to see him in the last game of the season, but if he does play, great. Dolphins had almost 300 yards of offense, 298. The Buccaneers had 3 turnovers in this game, and that's one of the big things that helped Miami win this game, which was ball hawking, getting after that ball. Good job. Miami had 10 penalties for 77 yards. The Bucs had 5 penalties for 45 yards. Realistically, the Bucs probably should have had about 15 penalties called against them in this game. Didn't happen. Whatever. It is what it is. The Bucs were 2 of 2 on 4th down conversions. They were both 4th and 1s. Yeah, it is what it is, I suppose. The Bucs were 2 of 3 in the red zone. Miami was 1 of 3. Like I said, this game, it wasn't a bad game. It was good to watch. I enjoyed it thoroughly. A lot of this game. Miami played overall a good football game. And look what happens. They come out with the win against a good team. Yes, the Bucs are 7-9, but they are a good football team. You'd be crazy to say the Bucs are bad. They're not. All right. They're a good team. And Miami came out with the win. Quinn Ewers looked confident and in control of the offense, and that's what I like to see. So, yeah, very confident. Love it. Love that run play near the end there when he ran for the first down. It was great. We have 1 game left in this season to try to get to 8-9 for the season. 1 game left. And it's can they do it? And it's going to be yes, it is. It's very fast. His release is I love his release, and I'm not saying this because I'm saying he's always the next Dan Marino, but that release reminds me kind of the way Dan Marino let go of the ball. And it's good to see. I like the control and the confidence coming from the quarterback position. I'm not saying he's the best quarterback we've had in forever. I'm not saying he's the next Dan Marino. I'm not even saying start Quinn Ewers next year. What I am saying is I want to see more. I like what I'm seeing from Quinn Ewers. Great job by him. Look what he did with a full week of practice. He improved. He threw 2 touchdowns. Great job. Great job. I want to see more. And that's what I want. That's where I'm at right now. I want to see more from Quinn Ewers. I want to see more of Theo Weiss. I do. I want to see more from this young secondary of ours that we're letting get some play time here near the end of the year. I want to see more. And we have these evaluations that we can give on these players, and then in the off season we can really make decisions on some of these guys. There's a lot of pieces here that I really think are worth hanging on to. And if we continue to see what we're seeing in these last couple games from these guys, I think it's going to be a good thing for us. There's a lot of players we can build with here. Offense looks different if you don't need anticipation with every throw to get there. Yeah, it does look different, doesn't it? I'm not saying it's way light years better, but it's different. And Miami Dolphins fans especially need to see something different than what we've seen. And I think that not just us, but the coaches do too. I think they need to see that they don't have to stick to that same anticipation style passing game where everything is a certain way and it can't be any other way. We're seeing that it can be a little different and have success. So we need to see more of it. Yeah, open the playbook up. Let it rip. Absolutely. That's what we need to see more of. And I'm like I said, I'm pleased. I'm happy to see these things going down. I'm happy to see a little bit different attitude coming away from with this offense. Dulcich. I loved seeing Dulcich get around on some plays. I like seeing Julian Hill do his thing. You want to talk about a player that's grown a lot. That's Julian Hill this year. He's matured a ton. He's got a lot better hands with the ball, that's for sure, and way less penalties, even though he did have one false start today. But overall, I like what I'm seeing, guys, and I hope that you guys do too. Like I said, you can pick things apart always. There's things that I didn't like that I saw, but I'm not focusing on that right now. What I'm looking for is flashes in the pan. Again, there's that phrase from some of these players, and I'm seeing it. I'm happy about it. It's good stuff. our last game of the season against New England, they just beat the bricks off of the Jets. Beat the ever-loving piss out of the Jets. 42-10? Yeah, 42-10. Goodness gracious me almighty. Whew. So New England clinches the AFC East with that game. I'm not sure how many starters they're going to rest because I think they're still going to try to be holding off that. I'll have to look, but I think they're still trying to hold on to that first position in the playoffs. But we'll see. I suppose it depends on what Buffalo does, or Buffalo. I suppose it depends on what Denver does at the end here. But I like what I've seen from Miami. I'm very happy. I want to see more, like I said. I want to see this continue for Dolphins. I want to see if they can get a little bit of steam going into the end of the season and going into the offseason. If we do that and have a little bit of success in the draft, make a few key decisions with our players. Like I said, I'm not sure if next year is going to be the year where the Dolphins are great, right? There's going to be a lot of cap that we're going to have to work with or work around, a lot of debt. But this is where you start making steps towards a competent offseason and a competent front office for this team. This is where it happens. Ewers, yeah, he does. He likes the big targets. Yeah, absolutely. And that's also why I want to see more of Theo Weiss. I want to see more just so I can know if this is somebody that I would want to invest in or continue to develop, or if it's somebody we need to let go. That's why I want to see more of him. Quinn Ewers definitely seems to like him. So, but we'll see what happens. And it's also those big-bodied receivers. They work better for the go up and get it type of ball. And Quinn Ewers definitely has a better ability to throw those kind of passes. So we'll see what ends up happening. I'm happy. You should be too. Yes. Yes. Now I wonder if Miami's got the same thing on their board, on their big board. Those players, those type of guys to watch. Time will tell. But I know it was kind of a last-second thing getting on here and streaming today for the second half, but I appreciate those of you that were in here. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for being here. Make sure you guys subscribe if you're new. Please definitely subscribe. Share the channel. Tell your buddies. Make sure to throw a like down. Comment. Tell me what you guys think about this game. Give me your evaluations for these young players, because not only do I like to give my evaluations, I like to hear what everybody else thinks as well. So thanks for being here. It's 52 below. I'm going to go get under a blanket on the couch and watch some TV. And I'll talk to you guys later, but thanks for being here. And until we talk to you guys next time, until we meet again and talk about this beloved Miami Dolphins franchise, as messy as it sometimes is, stay hopeful if you can, and we'll talk to you guys next time.